Hello everyone. Very good morning. Welcome to the data engineering with the Google Cloud Platform trainings. Hope you all can hear me. Can you guys confirm once?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thanks for confirming. Okay, so let us start the session. Today is our first demo, and we are going to see what is data engineering. In this first demo, we are going to start with what is data engineering and what is Google Cloud Platform. And after that, I'm going to tell you what is the course content for this entire 40 hours of time. And next, I will tell you what is the course curriculum, what are the topics that we are going to cover, and all the things, and what are the benefits of this course. All of those details, course details, I'm going to tell you today, guys. And after that, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to give you time so that you can able to ask me. Okay, so before starting the session, let me gonna introduce myself. My name is Shaik Saidhul, guys. I have total 8 years of experience into the data and AI field, and currently I'm working at a MNC company as a solution architect, and I have completed my master's degree from National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. Okay, so that is all about me. So let us start the session. If you all can hear me, let us just start the session with what is data engineering. So our course name is Data Engineering with the Google Cloud Platform. You can also call it as a Big Data on Google Cloud. Okay, Big Data on Google Cloud or Data Engineering with the Google Cloud, all are same. Okay, so the very first thing we are going to see is that what is data engineering? If one wanted to become a data engineer, what are the key roles and responsibilities that the data engineer is supposed to have? And what is Google Cloud Platform? Okay, the introduction to the Google Cloud Platform, the key services that are related to the data engineering and Google Cloud Platform we are going to see. Okay, so let me start with what is data engineering now. Hope you all can see my screen. Can you guys confirm once?
Yes, sir. We
Yeah.
can.
Okay. Okay, great. So let me start with what is data engineering, guys. Okay, data engineering is very simple, guys. So in a data engineering, think about. So every day we are going to interact with one application. So for example, if I wanted to order a food, or if I wanted to do some kind of a transactions, or if there is a sensor which is creating some kind of information. So the data may be generated at different file formats, or the data may be generated at an application, or the data is generated at IoT devices. So the data will be generated at different sources, so that whenever a user is interacted with that application, or one database, or some IoT devices, so that the data is generated. Okay, so you may be having the data that is coming from a data applications, a data source, a possible data source is an application, any application, or a data that is generated, or the data is that is coming from a file format. For example, you may be having some CSV file, or a Parquet file, or a Avro file, or a JSON file. So the data may be in the form of a different file formats also. Okay, similarly, the data may be at databases. One of the possible data sources database also. You may be having some MySQL database, or a SQL Server database, or a Oracle database. Or you may be having the data that is coming from the IoT devices, sensor devices, in the form of a logs or something. Okay, so these are all your data sources. These are all your possible data sources. You may be having the data from application, or a file format, or a databases, or a IoT devices. So that is fine. So the data is coming from these possible data sources. What is the end product of the data engineer, sir? Can you tell me? Sir, what the business think is that if you try to understand this data, if you try to analyze this data, the data gives you some kind of a insights. Those insights are very useful for the business improvement. Okay, so when you try to understand the data, the data will give you some kind of a insights. Those insights are very useful for the business improvement. So that is the reason almost all the business nowadays are wanted to improve their business. So that is the reason they wanted to understand their data properly. They wanted to analyze their data properly. They wanted to create some kind of a dashboards and reports on top of the data properly, so that they can get some kind of insights. So those insights are very useful for the business. So that is what you are seeing nowadays. Amazon sales, maybe big billion days. All these are coming from these data insights only. Okay, so they try to understand the data. They try to understand what, sir, whenever you put some kind of sale on festival season, the sales will be very high. So what they try to do is that they come up with if they still wanted to increase the sales. So that is the reason they come up with a huge discounts on a few items during these festival seasons. So such a kind of insights, if they wanted to do, they need to properly analyze the data. They need to properly analyze the data. So that is the reason, if you wanted to do the analysis, or if you wanted to get kind of insights, we must first store this data. Sorry, we must first store this data into one of the storage layer called a data lake. Okay, sir, I wanted to analyze the data. If I wanted to analyze the data, I need to first have the data in one single location. So that is the reason, whenever you have the data in multiple data sources, you extract the data from the applications or a file formats or a databases or a IoT devices, and you extract that data and you are going to store it in a one single location called a data lake. One single location called data lake. Once the data is there in the data lake, you are going to do the data processing. Why, sir? I wanted to do the data analysis, but why you are doing the data processing? Sometimes whatever the data that you are getting it from the data sources may not be in a usable format, may not be in a usable format. So you may be having your data with the duplicates, you may have your data with the null values, you may have your data with the not in a proper order, not in a proper shape. So you need to properly prepare the data, you need to properly clean the data, you need to properly process the data, you need to properly cleanse the data. So that is the reason we are going to do the data processing on top of this data. Okay, so that we are going to convert the data into a proper format for the analysis. Okay, we are converting the data into a proper format for the analysis using the data processing. Data processing is one of the major step in the data engineering, where you are adding some kind of a value to your existing data. We are doing a value addition to the data, which is very, very, very important aspect of data engineering. Okay, data processing is very famous. You might have heard about Spark, you might have heard about PySpark, Scala, or plenty of other frameworks where you are going to use it for the data processing. Okay, so what is the main agenda? The main agenda of data processing is that extract the data from these data lakes and convert that into, or transform that into a usable format and load it to the next layer called a data warehouse. Okay, so then the next layer called data warehouse. What is data warehouse, sir? A data warehouse is a single storage repository for your entire enterprise data. For your entire enterprise data, it is a single repository. That means you may be having your sales business, or marketing business, or HR business, or some other business. So all the business related data will be stored in the data warehouse. The entire enterprise data will be stored in one single location, that is called as a data warehouse. A data warehouse is a larger database, you can think of. A large database which will be having sub databases also. Okay, the entire enterprise data will be stored here. Most of the times, the data will be stored in the form of a structured format. Okay, most of the time, the data will be stored in the form of a structured format. Think like this. So you are getting the data from the application, that may be JSON. Here you may be getting it from the CSV or some other Parquet file. Databases may be CSV or a JSON file. IoT devices may be in the form of a log format, logs. So, but the end product, if I wanted to do the analysis, the data has to be in the structured format. That means the tabular format, which will be having a proper schema attached to it. So if I wanted to convert the data from these multiple file formats to the structured data, we need the data processing, right? So that is the reason data processing is very important. During the data processing, you are not only just converting the format, you are going to add some kind of a value to the data also. So that is the reason data warehousing is also one of the major aspect of data engineering. So in the data engineering, you will be in the data engineering, you will be having the data sources, you will be having data lakes, data processing layer, data warehousing layer. So once you have the data, processed data is here. So this is your raw data. Okay, that is coming from here. What you try to do, this is your raw data set. You have transformed it and you have stored it into this data set, one of the data set. What you try to do is that you try to analyze this data. And whenever you analyze the data, you will come up with some kind of analysis reports. That means analysis tables or insights you can think of. So you can think of insight tables. Those insight tables are very useful for the business. Those insight tables are very useful for the business. So you are extracting the data from here. This is the location where data lake is the location where to have your entire enterprise data, because this application may be running in US servers. This file formats may be in India. This database may be running in some other servers. So these are in different locations, different servers. The data is available in different formats. So what we have to do, we have to, if I wanted to do the analysis, I need to have the data in single location. So that is the reason we try to put the data into a single location first. Then on top of this data, we try to add the value to the data. We try to remove the duplicates. We try to remove the null values. We try to clean the data, process the data. All of those activities we are going to do it here. Once the data is loaded to the data warehouse, we are going to do some kind of analysis on top of the data. Those insight tables are here. These insight tables are very useful for the BI, business intelligence. These insight tables are very useful for the machine learning. These insight tables are very useful for the data scientist. These insight tables are very useful for the business groups. Okay, so you are doing some kind of analysis. That analysis is very useful for the downstream. Okay, so if one wanted to create some kind of a reports and dashboards, because no one wanted to see the data in the form of a table. Okay, if you wanted to see the data in the form of a table, if the table is very huge, looking at the each and every point is very hard, and analyzing the data and taking a proper decision on top of the data is very hard. So that's the reason they create some kind of a charts, pie charts, bar charts, different charts they are going to create it. They call it as a dashboard. And those dashboards, by looking at the dashboard, the business manager can take some kind of a decision. Similarly, on top of this data, there can be a machine learning engineer. They wanted to create some kind of a machine learning model. There can be a data scientist who wanted to find the future patterns, future trends. There can be a business group who directly use this table for the business decision making. Okay, so this is what is data engineering, guys. This is what is data engineering. In a data engineering, we will be having data sources, we will be having data sink, and we extract this data, We store the data here, we process the data here, we analyze the data here, and we export the data to the data sink. And during this process, we wanted to ensure the data is accurate and complete throughout the platform. So that is the reason we also have data governance and monitoring. We also have data governance and monitoring, which is also one of the important aspect where it's going to be telling you to ensure the data is accurate throughout this platform. Whatever the data that we are getting it properly, we are sending it to the destination. Okay, the amount of data, the accuracy of the data is properly maintained throughout this entire platform. Okay, so that is the reason we have data governance and monitoring as well. Okay, so which is also a very, very important aspect. Okay, so what is data engineering, guys? So data engineering is very simple, guys. Data engineering is a process of collecting the data, organizing the data, preparing the large amounts of the data for the data analysis, so that those analysis reports are very useful for the business. Those analysis reports are very useful for the business. Okay, so this is what is data engineering, guys. And during this process, as a data engineer, we need to create a systems and infrastructure for this data to be captured, for this data to be stored, for this data to be processed and accessed efficiently. Okay, so you are saying that data needs to be stored. Okay, see here, you are saying that some data has to be stored here, but who is creating that resource? Data has to be processed. Which infrastructure is used for processing? Which infrastructure is used for the warehousing and analysis? So such kind of a whatever you are doing here, whatever you wanted to do here, the underlying sorry, the underlying infrastructure also be need to be created properly. So that should also be taken care. Okay, so that is the reason data processing, data engineering is not only just collecting the data, organizing the data, and preparing the data for the analysis. We should also ensure that the back-end resources, infrastructure, systems to be created for this entire process to be followed. Okay, for this entire process, if I wanted to follow, we need to have the infrastructure ready, we need to have the system ready, so that we can able to capture the data, store the data, process the data, and analyze the data efficiently. Okay, so this is what it is, guys. Okay, so do we have any questions on the data engineering, guys? Do we have any questions on the data engineering? Please raise your hand, guys, if you have any questions on the data engineering. Okay, great. So what is data engineering is completed. So we will see in our upcoming sessions, we will see for the data engineering, sir, for storage, for the data, like what tool we are going to use. For data processing, what are the tools that we are going to use? For data warehousing, which tool is very useful? Okay, for data governance, which tool we are going to use? For the file formats, what are the file formats that we are going to cover? What are the databases that we are going to cover? All of these things we are going to see in our upcoming sessions. Don't worry at all. In while I am telling you the course curriculum also, you will get to know all of these things. Okay, so but as a data engineer, the concept is very simple. You will be having the data sources, you will be having the data sink. So you need to extract the data from the sources. We need to store the data, process the data, analyze the data, and send it to the destination. While doing this process also, we should have a data governance to ensure the data is accurate and complete throughout this entire platform. Okay, so that is what is data engineering. Hope that is clear. Some kind of idea is very important, guys, having data engineering. Some people understand it in a very different way, so that is the reason I just wanted to tell it very clearly. Now, what is the role of a data engineer? So data engineer is the one who works on the data acquisition, data collection, data extraction. So when I say data extraction, which tool we are going to use and how to use that tool, how to extract this data, and do we have to extract the data daily or in a batches or in a stream manner. So such kind of a things we have to ensure. So a data engineer who is the work on the data collection, the very first aspect. Next thing, data storage and management. And one more data engineer who works on the data storage and management. So which tool we have to use it for our data? First thing, and whether it is scalable, whether it is protected, whether it is enabling the access control, so that I can able to provide the access to the end users. So we need to properly have a data storage and management, so that we need to store the any amount of data, whatever the data that we are getting, that can be stored and that can be properly accessed. So management means access control or protecting the data, ensuring the security of the data, encryption at during the rest as well as in the transit. So all of these things comes into the picture. So a data engineer going to work on the data storage and management. Very important aspect, data processing. So data processing is something a data engineer is going to work on by using multiple tools. You may be having a Spark framework, you may be having a Apache Beam framework, you may be having a different frameworks are there. So if you wanted to do the data processing, you can use any of the tools, but using a proper tool is very important for the cost cutting. Using a proper tool is very useful for the time saving, and similarly for the performance optimization. So ensuring a proper tool used for the data processing, writing the code in a proper programming language is also very important, and optimizing the data, ensuring the entire infrastructure for the data processing is also created. So plenty of the tools are available. So you can think of data proc, data flow, as well as data bricks is also there. So there are different tools are there for the data processing, and data processing is more of a value addition to your data. And similarly, a data engineer must focus on the data quality and governance. As I told you, data quality is also very important. Okay, so if I wanted to ensure the data is accurate, or if I wanted to tell you the data is proper to my end user, so I have to mention that the quality standards we have to follow. So such kind of a things also a data engineer must focus on. System integration. See, we are working with a multiple systems here. We have a data storage layer, we have a data processing layer, we have a data analysis layer. So we wanted to integrate these systems so that they can work in an automated fashion. We don't want it to work in manual manner, right? So we are very lazy. We wanted to work in a very automated fashion or a scheduled fashion, so that once the pipeline is created, everything is working automatically. So we need to integrate multiple systems. We need to ensure that the pipeline is running all the time. And if it is failing also, we need to properly monitor and maintain the pipelines. So pipeline creation, pipeline maintenance, pipeline monitoring is also one of the important aspects for the system integration. And the next one is performance optimization, which is very important. If you go for an interview, at least 2 to 3 questions they are going to ask you. Out of 10 questions, at least 2 to 3 questions they are going to ask you performance optimization, because that is, if you are good with the performance optimization, that means you are good with all other concepts. So that's what the interviewer think that. So if you are good with the performance optimization techniques, then you are good with all other basic concepts. So performance optimization is one of the crucial role for the data engineer. It's because if some code is taking a lot of time, or if some operation is taking a lot of time, or if some script is taking a lot of time, or if some kind of a pipeline is taking a lot of time, we need to properly look into it, debug it, and properly check if there are any blocks are there, why it is taking time, and we need to debug it, and we need to find the reason, the root cause of taking a lot of time, and we need to ensure that we need to reduce the time taking for that particular thing to run. So that is what is performance optimization. We need to have our pipeline or a script or a code to be run in an optimized manner. Okay, so we need to run our code or whatever it is, it should be running in a very optimized manner. So that is the reason performance optimization is one of the important aspects. Okay, and similarly, we have monitoring and maintenance. Just now I told you, you have to monitor your pipelines and maintain your pipelines. If there are any upgrades needed, if there are any libraries to be updated, all of these things you have to ensure. Okay, monitoring and maintenance is also one of the important aspects, guys. Okay, so this is the role of a data engineer, guys. So when you wanted to work as a data engineer, you have to focus on how to work on the data collection, data storage and management, data processing, data quality, data pipeline creation, performance optimization, monitoring and maintenance. So this is what is the data engineer do every day. If someone asks you what is your role, so I will be, you can say one or two here. You don't say all the things here. Sometimes I will be working on the data processing. Sometimes I'll be working on the data pipelines. Sometime I will be working on the data collection, you can say. Okay, so that is how when you go for an interview, that is how you're supposed to be. So they're going to ask you what is your role in your project. So that's what you have to say. Okay, any question? Does anyone have any question, guys? Once I complete the what is Google Cloud Platform also, I'm going to give you time. If you have any questions, you can ask me, because what is data engineering? What is Google Cloud Platform? Because we are going to learn the data engineering with the Google Cloud Platform. I'm going to tell you what are the tools and services that we are going to learn in the GCP. I will tell you. And what is the course details also I will tell you. Just give me 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes give me, so that I can able to explain everything. Okay, the movie is just started now. It is just only 50 minutes of movie. So if you try to understand at least 1 hour, you will come to know like what could be the interesting things that is going to happen. Okay, so let us try to understand what is Google Cloud Platform. Are we good to start? Can you guys give me heads up? Guys, are we good to start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so Google Cloud Platform, you guys might have heard about it. What is Google Cloud Platform? Or you might have heard about Azure or AWS, right? So you might have heard about it, Azure or AWS. So Azure, AWS, Google Cloud Platform all works in the same fashion, guys. Let me gonna tell you one. Let me gonna give you one idea so that you can able to understand it easily. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, think that. So AWS is there, Azure is there. Or let me go to the paint and let me try to explain it here. So you guys might have heard about it. AWS. You might have heard about it. Azure. And about GCP. Let me gonna tell you. So AWS, Azure, and GCP. All these are the leading cloud providers, guys. Okay, you can say these are the cloud providers. What we say? These are the cloud providers. Okay, what they do, what the cloud providers do. The cloud providers provide you the cloud computing services. Okay, what they do? They provide you the cloud computing services. So AWS is one of the leading cloud providers. Azure is also one of the leading cloud provider. GCP is also one of the leading cloud provider. Okay, what they try to do is they provide you the cloud computing services. What they do, sir? They provide you the cloud computing services. These services are very useful for the organizations to build their application. These services are very useful for the organization. These services are very useful for the organization. Organizations or companies, whatever you can think of, very useful for their building the solution, very useful for building the solution or scaling the solution or deploying the solution. They need these cloud computing services. So AWS or Azure or GCP is the leading cloud providers. They provide you the cloud computing services. These services are very useful for the organizations to build their solution, deploy their solution, or scale their applications and services in the cloud platforms. Okay, build their application, scale their applications, and deploy their applications in the cloud platform. Because we already know that if we don't use the cloud platform, we have to take care of all of these things on our own. Okay, we need to take all of these things on our own. So taking all of these things on our own is very hard, because we don't want it to create our own infrastructure. Taking care of infrastructure is time taking. Okay, if I wanted to take care of infrastructure, we need to have a data center, and data center is maintaining the data center is very hard. Electricity for the maintenance is very hard. Cooling supply for the data center is very hard. Creating the systems is very hard. Configuring the systems is very hard. Backing up the systems is very hard. Networking of these systems is very hard. So, as a small company, if I wanted to start up a small company, so maintaining all of those things are very hard. So that is the reason the cloud providers came into the picture. They are going to provide you the cloud computing services. These services are very useful for the organizations to build the application, scale the application, and deploy their applications by using these cloud computing services. These services are very useful for the organizations for deploying, building, and scaling their applications and services in the cloud platforms. One of that leading cloud platform is Google Cloud Platform. One of the leading cloud platform is Google Cloud Platform. We are learning the GCP because GCP is also one of the leading cloud provider. There are plenty of opportunities for the GCP data engineers. Google Cloud Platform, we call it as. In short form, we call it as a GCP. GCP is one of the leading cloud provider. They provide you the cloud computing services. Those services are very useful for the organizations for building, scaling, and deploying their applications. Okay, sir, can you show me what are the services that the GCP is providing? As a definition, this is what is a definition, guys. Google Cloud Platform is a suite of cloud computing services provided by the Google that offers range and products and solutions to help the organizations to build, deploy, and scale the applications and services in the cloud. Okay, this is what is definition. And these services are highly reliable, highly secure, and it provides you the scalable infrastructure so that the businesses can leverage the power of Google's extensive global network and data centers. Okay, so in a very simple plot, in a very simple form, if I have to say, GCP provides you the cloud computing services. The cloud computing services, as a company or as a data engineer, I am going to use it so that I can able to run my analysis, or I can able to store my data, I can able to process my data, I can able to do all of those activities. Sir, can you show me those services so that I get some more idea? So you can look at here, GCP service portfolio. GCP provides plenty of the services, guys. GCP provides plenty of the services. Those services are categorized like this. Categorized into compute services, identity and security services, management services, networking services, big data services, storage and database services, and machine learning services. So inside each category, you will be having your services. Compute engine, app engine, all of these things. Similarly, if you go to our agenda is to focus on these two things: big data as well as storage and database services. Okay, so that is our agenda. I will tell you what are the topics that we are going to cover. So let's wait for some more time so that we already know Google Cloud Platform providing you the cloud computing services. So can you show me, sir, what are those services? Means these are all the services it is providing. If one wanted to build an application, they can do that. If one wanted to store some data, they can do that. One wanted to process the data, they can do it using these services. One wanted to analyze the data, they can able to do it using one other services. So whatever you wanted to do as an IT industry, if you wanted to store it, process it, analyze it, and create a dashboard on top of it, or you wanted to create an application, you wanted to develop an application, you wanted to monitor some application, you wanted to log some information, whatever it is, whatever you name it, whatever you wanted to do, you will be having a separate service for that. You will be having a solution for that in the Google Cloud Platform. Those solutions or those services are useful for the businesses so that they can have they can utilize this service for their own project development purpose. Okay, so that is what is GCP. So GCP provides you the cloud computing services. Those services are useful for the organizations for their own project development purpose. Okay, so that is what it is, guys. Do we have any question here? Do we have any other question on the GCP front? Okay, sir, what is our course curriculum? So I'm going to start with my course curriculum so that you will get some idea, guys. So we are going to start our course curriculum. We are from tomorrow onwards. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to start our regular sessions only. Okay. So what is our first topic, sir? Tomorrow onwards. Today is just a just a definitions, guys. What is data engineering? What is Google Cloud Platform? What is the role of a data engineer? What are the services that are there in the GCP? Only just introductions here completed. From tomorrow onwards, actual topics are going to start, and I am going to tell you very interesting topic, that is tomorrow, why we need the cloud platform. Why we need the cloud platforms? Because very important aspect I am going to tell you tomorrow, why we need a cloud platform, which gives you overall idea that how people were working 10 years before. Okay, you if you wanted to know how your fathers or how your brothers have worked so far earlier in IT industry, now how you are working, how you are going to work in the IT industry, the entire concept I am going to tell you tomorrow with a very pictorial view so that you will going to understand everything clearly. And after that, I will tell you what was the difference between that model and this model. What was the difference between the traditional working model? The earlier model was traditional working model, guys. 10 years before was traditional working model. Now the current model is cloud computing model. Okay, the current one is cloud computing model. The next era is multi-cloud model. Okay, the next era, maybe after 5 years, you will going to see most of the services. If you are working in a project, some of the services from the AWS, some of the services from the GCP, some of the services from the Azure. So that is our multi-cloud era. So you are going to see that as well. You are going to witness that as well. Okay, so what is the difference between our working culture of our brothers or fathers? What is the working culture of now? We are going to see the difference. On-premises versus cloud computing model. After that, what is GCP? Introduction. Why we learn the GCP? Tomorrow I am going to tell you why we are going to learn the GCP. What are the opportunities? What are the certifications that you can do? And from there, we are going to start with each and every module. Everything is one module, guys. You can see here GCP interfaces. We are going to see what is console, what is Cloud Shell, what is SDK. By using these interfaces, how we can able to interact with the GCP services, we are going to see very detailed manner. Console walkthrough, how our GCP console looks like, and how to set up a project, how to enable the building and APIs. We are going to see that. And after that, very important concept, GCP locations. What is region? What is zone? What is the selection criteria? What is the importance of having the regions and zones? What is IAM and admin? In a security front, if you wanted to manage the access control in Google Cloud Platform for different services, we have IAM and admin. And what is identities? What is roles? what is policy, how to follow the resource hierarchy. Similarly, so compute options is very definitions only. We are not going to cover the entire deployments. We are just covering the definitions, compute engines, Kubernetes engines, app engines, and cloud functions. These are just definition only. Okay, this thing is only for definitions, guys. You must know the definition at least. But all these things are covered in a very detailed manner. Okay, all these things are covered in a very detailed manner. But these compute options is for you to understand the basic things. Because some people, maybe when you are working, you are not going to work on compute engines, you are not going to work on GKE, app engines, cloud functions. But what happens is that your source team or your destination team or some other team, they're gonna say in your meetings or somewhere they mention GKE. We are using GKE. So if they say GKE, you shouldn't think about it. What is GKE and all? You should have at least some basic idea, right? So I'm going to give you that basic idea. What is compute engine? What is Kubernetes engine? Okay, so some basic idea I am going to give it. So these things are very important, guys. Module 1, cloud overview. What is GCP? GCP interfaces, console walkthrough, GCP locations, IM and admin, compute options. Compute option basics, I should say. After that, we are going to enter into the data engineering tools. So in our data, if I have to categorize the data can be unstructured data, semi-structured data, structured data. So if I wanted to deal with the unstructured data in Google Cloud Platform, we have a GCS, Google Cloud Storage. So if I wanted to work with the unstructured data in Google Cloud Platform, we have a Google Cloud Storage, GCS we call it as. So we can manage the unstructured data with GCS. Semi-structured data. So in semi-structured data, you can have a OLTP system and OLAP system. So that can be deal with the big table. So if you wanted to store OLTP data and OLAP data, we can use big table. Similarly, in structured data, if you wanted to work with OLTP system, transactional system, we have a Cloud SQL. If you wanted to work with a OLAP system, nothing but a data warehousing solution, that is BigQuery. So in data and storage and database services, we are working with one. We are learning about 2, 3, 4. Totally, we are learning 4 storage and database services. So this is storage. These are the database services. 3 are the database services. Total 4 storage and database services we are going to learn here. And after that, sir, can you tell me what are the data pipeline tools that we are going to cover? So if I wanted to create the data pipelines in Google Cloud Platform, first we are going to learn about Spark and Hadoop jobs. If you wanted to create Spark pipelines or Hadoop pipelines, we are learning about Dataproc. In Dataproc, we are learning about PySpark. Python with Spark is nothing but a PySpark. So in a very detailed manner, we are going to learn about PySpark in Dataproc to create the Spark pipelines, PySpark pipelines. Similarly, we are going to learn about Beam pipelines with Apache Beam. In Dataflow, we are going to learn about Apache Beam with Python. So that we can able to create the Beam pipelines also. So both are Python with Spark, Python with Beam, Apache Beam. And sir, I wanted to create a pipelines without writing any code. Can you tell me what is that? So Spark pipelines are using the PySpark. Beam pipelines are using the Beam with Python. So if you wanted to create a pipelines without writing any code, that is code-free environment, we are going to learn about data fusion. So without writing any code also, we can create the pipelines in GCP. Okay, but that is not much used. But we should learn about that as well. So data fusion is there. Okay, so Dataproc, Dataflow, Data Fusion. And sir, I wanted to work with the workflow orchestration tools. One of the tools that we are going to learn is Airflow or Composer. Airflow or Composer. In a Google Cloud Platform, Airflow is called as a composer. So we are going to learn about workflow orchestration tool as well. Okay, so that is something. And after that, we are going to learn about infrastructure provisioning tools, that is Terraform. Okay, we are going to cover infrastructure provisioning tools. So Terraform is not mandatory for the data engineers, but I am going to cover. It's because nowadays the data engineers also using that. So Terraform is also one of the advantage topic. And additionally, we are going to cover PubSub also. PubSub, and one more is cloud functions. Okay, so you can think of 4, right? So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Total 11 services, sir. Additionally, there can be few more also. Okay, few more additional services also we are going to cover. But major 11 services that we are going to cover in terms of the data engineering activities in Google Cloud Platform. Okay, in Google Cloud Platform, total 11 services that we are going to cover in a very detailed practical labs and assignments I am going to tell you. So I will show you how the course curriculum looks like in a very descriptive manner. I think you guys might have already the course curriculum document with you, and you can also see here module 1. Module 2 is the GCP interfaces, console, shell, and SDK. Module 3 is GCP locations. Module 4 is GCP IM and admin. Module 5 is compute options. Networking is not covered, compute options. And next thing, data engineering topics, Google Cloud Storage, Cloud SQL, Bigtable, BigQuery, Dataproc, Dataflow, Cloud PubSub, Cloud Composer, Data Fusion, Terraform. So whatever I have mentioned there in this one, all those services are in a very descriptive manner. We are going to learn, guys, in a descriptive manner with labs, with practicals. So each and every service you will be having. For example, if you go, you will be having assignments, you will be having case studies, you will be having case studies as well as assignments. Similarly, if you go for Dataproc, you will be having lab sessions, lab. You can see here. So all these things are notebooks only, Python notebooks, and these are the sample data set. So all of these things. So for example, and once after that, if sir I wanted to prepare your resume, you will be having your resume templates here already uploaded, and you have the interview, commonly asked interview questions. So in your interview, if you have to say what I have to say about the introduction and the project details, the project explanation, sir I wanted to, so they are asking me, tell me about yourself and tell me about your project. So you have to explain your project, right? So the project 1 with an architecture diagram, project 2 with an explanation and architecture diagram. So properly created here. Sir, commonly asked data engineering questions. Sir, I am going for the data engineering. So can you give me some kind of engineering questions, theoretical questions? All theoretical questions are here. Okay. So all these things are covered in our sessions only. So if you, before going for the interview, if you can just look at it, you will be able to easily remember all the things that we have covered. And coding questions, SQL coding questions, Python coding questions. So all of these things are advantage to you guys for this course. You are going to get it all this entire link I'm going to share it with you. Okay, if I can share this one link, you will be able to access all of these things. And this is how, for those who wanted to do the certification, they can they can come here and they can download this AS dumps and professional data engineering certification. So there are two types of certifications for the GCP data engineer, guys. The basic associate level certification is associate cloud engineer certification, and data engineer level certification is professional data engineering certification. And here one more end-to-end project here. So we are going to cover, as I told you, what is Google Cloud Platform. It is here GCP interfaces, GCP locations, and IM and admin. So our first data engineering service is GCS. What is GCS? And how to work with the GCS in two different ways, console and cloud shell. Cloud SQL. What is Cloud SQL? How do you connect it to the Cloud SQL? One migration project is there in the Cloud SQL, guys. So manual method and DMS method, automation method. So we are going to cover data migration project also here. So for that one, we need to have a Linux virtual machine. So that also I have created here. sample data, assignment. BigQuery. What is BigQuery? How do you work with the BigQuery? How to create a table from editor and create a table from the GCS, Cloud Shell, Cloud Console, ETL services, all of those things. What is partitioning and clustering? So this is optimization techniques, guys. Okay. Nested and repeated fields. What is views? Materialized view, authorized view, assignments, case study 1, case study 2. Data proc. Introduction to the Hadoop. So before we learning about the Spark, we must understand our history, right? So what is Hadoop? What is Spark? How the data proc is very useful for running the Hadoop and Spark jobs. How SQL users are working, how data engineers are working. What is cluster? What is node? All of those things are covered here. Difference between the Hadoop and Spark, Spark and PySpark, cluster creation, single node cluster creation, multi-node cluster creation, PySpark data processing pipelines, how do we create it? And lab sessions, these lab sessions itself, it is take 4 to 5 hours. And after that, case study 1, case study 2, case study 3, assignment 1, assignment 2, end-to-end pipeline. Okay, end-to-end pipeline, we have it here. Similarly, data flow, introduction, Spark versus Beam, data proc versus data flow, lab sessions. Again, these lab sessions also take 4 to 5 days. Template method of creating the pipelines, creating a pipeline from the scratch, here it is, and end-to-end streaming pipeline. So here we are covering the end-to-end streaming pipeline. Okay, in the data proc, we are covering end-to-end batch pipeline, end-to-end streaming pipeline, and BigQuery we have the case studies similar to the projects only. PubSub, what is PubSub? The PubSub project is also covered here. Here also it is covered, PubSub. You can see here. The topic is nothing but a PubSub only. Okay. And similarly, Airflow, nothing but a composer. What is Compose? Very, very important tool, guys. I'm telling you. What is Composer? What is DAG? How to create a DAG? What is the cron job format? Level 1 DAG, level 2 DAG. See, level 1 DAG architecture diagram. What is the code? What are the data sets? Level 2 DAG, code and data codes and data proc. We are going to integrate it with level 3 DAG for running the parent and child DAGs. And the level 4 DAG is as assignment for you. And the code is already ready. For the assignments also, the code is already available to you guys. You don't need to worry about it. The only thing is that first you have to try it on your own. Then if you are not able to do it, you can come here and check it out. Similarly, data fusion. What is data fusion? How to create the pipelines using the data fusion and end-to-end streaming, end-to-end pipeline, batch pipeline only. So the architecture diagram is here. The sample data set is also here. Cloud functions. What is cloud function? Cloud function, one type of cloud function, second type of cloud functions. Okay. So these are the real-time case studies, guys. I'm telling you, these are the real-time use cases you can think of that as soon as the file is created, you wanted to load it to the BigQuery or you wanted to do some kind of actions on top of your data. So these are the real-time use cases that the companies are nowadays doing it. So I have worked on these things. So I have created it as one of the case studies so that you can able to learn something. So these are, if you learn my course content, including the labs, theoretical concepts are only 20%, guys. Okay, the theoretical concepts are only 20%. Total 80% is practical labs. 80% is labs only. 80% is writing the code only. 80% is we need to process the data, analyze the data, store the data, all the things. 80% is labs only. Only 20% is theoretical. Okay, because we are not going to theoretically work in the company, right? We need to practically experiment it, implement the solutions. If you wanted to implement it while learning the course itself, if you are implementing the things, if you know how to implement it while learning the course, it becomes easy for you to survive in the company. And the packages are very good. So that is the reason this course is mainly aimed for those people who wanted to enter into the data engineering field. Whether you are coming from any background, whether you have any years of experience, you can able to easily attend this particular course, go for the interview, crack it out. Okay, so that 1 minute, guys. Sorry guys. So this is how the cloud functions is covered with including the projects as well, and we have a Terraform also. So how do we create the infrastructure using the Terraform? How safely and efficiently you can able to create the infrastructure using Terraform? We are going to cover it. So the example code is also available here. Okay, so if you wanted to look at it, you can also download it. You can able to open these codes as well. Okay, so that is how all the things are theoretically and practically we are going to learn it. More things are labs only, so we need to focus on the labs. So for those people, if I wanted to practice labs, or what I have to do, so I'm going to tell you in our upcoming sessions how to create a free tier account in the GCP. Okay, this free tier account is worth of $300 for the next 90 days. So I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP in our maybe day after tomorrow's class. Okay, so that is how we have to first to create our account, do all the implementation in the account only. I'm going to give you the assignments, case studies for you so that you have to crack it. So all the basics, transformations, processing and everything I'm going to tell in our class. We are going to implement it lively. Okay, so that's what is the course curriculum is about. And 1 minute guys, I'm going to back to this one. So as I mentioned here also, all the things are related to the data proc, data flow, data fusion, airflow, all of these things are covered. Course details perspective, the course duration is 45 hours, nothing but your 2 months of time, sir. Okay, 2 months of time, you can say. Course timings is 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. every day. IST. 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. IST every day, the course timings. Daily 1 hour, Monday to Friday. We do not have any sessions on Saturday, Sunday, but tomorrow we have. Tomorrow and after tomorrow we have. Delivery sessions, online live sessions. Add-ons for this course. Video recordings will be provided. Course material will be provided. So I have just shown you, right, the course material. So you can able to, I will provide you the access to my material so that you can able to do it. So assignments, real-time projects and case studies, interview questions, certification dumps, and resume assistance. So once we have completed this 40, usually it takes 40 to 45 hours. Okay. So maybe after 42 sessions are completed, the last session I'm going to tell you about interview questions, certification dumps, and resume assistance. How you have to create your resume, how you have to prepare for the interview, how you have to prepare for the certification. So last 1 hour session, the end of our course, last 1 hour session, I'm going to tell you about how you can able to prepare the resume and ready for the interview and certification. Okay, so that is what it is. So the course it takes around 2 months, guys, around 2 months of time. Okay, so this is what is about course details. And course a prerequisite for this course. What is the prerequisite for course? Some people will ask me, sir, if you are already familiar with the SQL, that is more than enough. Okay, SQL is very important for this course. So I suggest you to. So if you are not familiar with the SQL, also you can able to learn. But if you learn right SQL, this is gives you a very good confidence for understanding the each and every concept in this course. So SQL is important for this course. For those people who don't know SQL also, during we are covering our first 5 to 6 classes. These are the basic classes only. So during that time you can actually focus on SQL learning. Okay, I want you guys to, if you know already the SQL or if you don't know already the SQL, I want you guys to put your some time and brush up your SQL for this course. Okay, so brush up your SQL knowledge for this course so that you can better understand each and every concept. And the target audience for this course, for those who are whoever you are, you wanted to become a data engineer, the aspiring data engineer. If you're a data analyst or a data scientist, or if you're a software engineer or a developer, or if you're a database or a ETL developer, or if you're a business intelligence professional, or if you're planning for a certification like ASR professional data engineer. So if you wanted to become a data engineer, sir, my package is very less. I wanted to enter into the cloud data engineer. The packages are very good. Okay, you can able to go for this one. So for 5 years of experience, only people are getting 30 plus LPA. Okay, so you can think of like that. So, sir, my current package is I have 3 years of experience. You can think of like this. Some people will have such kind of a doubts, right? I'm going to clear it out. Sir, my experience only 3 years, but my package is around only 5 LPA, 6 LPA, around less than 6 LPA. Sir, I wanted to get a lot of good hike, but I do not know where to start from. I do not know which course I have to take care. So for those people, I am telling you this course gives you 10 plus LPA because you are at least 10 plus. First offer, first offer you will get 10 plus. 14 you can go for second offer. So I suggest you to go for at least 2 offer letters. I don't want my students to get only one offer, because if you go for one offer, your package will be there, because you are getting only 7 LPA, 6 LPA here. So on top of this current offer, you will be having your future offer. Okay, so if you get one more offer letter, your package will keep increase. So all the way from the 6 LPA to you can go for 14 LPA. So there are high chances to do that. The important aspect is that you need to crack 2 interviews. For those people who is having 5 years of experience, their package is only 12 LPA, 12 to 15 LPA only. I have seen many people in my previous batches. So if you wanted to go from 20 LPA, I have seen one of my students who got 3 offer letters whose package is more than 29 LPA. Okay, so it's in your choice, guys. If you go for first offer, second offer, third offer, he got it as a 29 LPA. From all the way from the 14 LPA to 29 LPA, he got it. Okay, so that is how. So it totally depends on your current package. It totally depends on how many offer letters that you are cracking. So if you are cracking each and every offer letter, your package is going to be very good. Okay, so that is what it is. Sir, you are telling 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, even 10 years also you can think of. Okay, even 10 years experience also, even though you're getting some people getting 18 to 22 LPA only. I have seen many people like that. So if you wanted to go beyond 30 LPA to 35 LPA, you can just plan for learning this course. Okay, so this is what it is. But sir, this is 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. While preparing the resume, how I have to prepare the resume? Last 1.5 years GCP, this course experience. Last 2 years GCP data engineering. Last 3 years GCP data engineer. So that is how you have to prepare your resume. Okay, sir, you have 3 years experience. You mentioned 1.5 years of experience as a GCP data engineer. You prepare your resume like that. I will tell you how to create a resume. Don't worry about it. But this is how you are going to manage it. Okay, 5 years. Last 2 years, I'm going to work. I have worked on. So in your resume, you will say like this: I have total. My name is this one, and I have total 5 years of experience. I have worked on GCP data engineer from the last 2 years. In GCP, I have worked on the services like BigQuery, Dataproc, Dataflow, Airflow, Composer, PubSub, and all. So I have worked on 2 projects in the GCP. One of the project is related to the this one, and one of the project is related to that one. You can say, because I have mentioned 2 projects explanation also, you can explain that. So that is how you have to manage. Okay, if it is 3 years, sir, I have total 3 years of experience. 1.5 years, last 1.5 years of experience, I have total. I have worked on the GCP data engineer. Before that, I have worked on some other activities. I have total 10 years of experience. Last 3 years onwards, I've been working on the GCP data engineering activities. I have worked on these services. The projects that I have worked on, you can say. I have created an end-to-end workflows also. You can mention those things. Whatever we are going to cover, you can mention those things. Okay, so that is how it is. This entire course is fully properly created, guys. Put a lot of time and we have created this course. This course will have everything, a detailed topics with labs. Detailed topics with labs. All the topics are detailed. All the course current. You don't see anything which is missed for the data engineer. You don't find any topic which is missed for the data engineer. First thing, and labs are very important because topics only for 20 to 30%, but labs are 80%. We are going to spend a lot of time on the labs only and detailed. And one more thing, the course curriculum is very detailed. One more thing, you will be having your resume templates, you will be having your interview prep ready, interview questions, interview introductions, project explanations, architecture explanations, properly designed in such a way that those person who is coming from non-IT also. I have seen one of the person. There are few people who are from what we call they have done degree. What I'm not sure. B pharmacy or not? Yeah, B pharmacy. One of the girl was from B pharmacy, and she got placed in one of the company with very decent pay. She was only earning 2 LPA with B pharmacy in one of the company. She was earning only 2 LPA. Now she is earning like 7 LPA or 8 LPA. I'm not totally sure, but I'm sure that she was earning more than 7.5 or something. So such that if you spend, her experience was 4.5. She worked on 4.5 in the B pharmacy only. Her package was 2 LP only, less than 2, not even 2, less than 2. She was working for 15,000, 18,000 only. Okay, and now she attended this course. She does not know anything about the data. She attended the course and she cracked the interview. We have helped in a very different fashion, because during our last session you will come to know that how you can better perform in the interview. Because in our last session, if I say our entire course is completed, I will take 1 hour session, right? That session is very useful for you, so that you can easily crack the interview. How do you have to prepare? So that I'm going to tell you in our last session. Okay, so those sessions she has, I mean, she was putting a lot of effort. First thing, if you are putting a lot of effort, the package is near to you. So the dream company is in front of you, I'm telling you. If you're not putting efforts, if you're not just attending the daily live sessions and you are not practicing, it's waste of time. I'm telling you guys, if you have time, 1 hour session, do daily 1.5 hour session. If you have 1 hour 30 minutes of session, if you have daily, that's more than ever. 1 hour is for the live session, 30 minutes is for the practice. So if you are able to manage 1.5 hour session daily, then that is more than enough for next 2 months, and next 1 month. Within 3 months, I am telling you, within 3 months you will be able to easily crack the interviews, because there are plenty of opportunities are there. The opportunities are very huge. The only thing is that you have to put your efforts and learn it. That's it. Because it is not easy topics. These are not easy, hard topics also. These are medium topics. If they are providing you a lot of good package, that means you have to put your efforts like that. Okay, so think that is more, that should be motivating you. Okay, yeah. Now I'm going to give you some time for you to ask questions. Please raise your hand, guys, if you have any questions, and you can um, ask me anything. So I have seen one of the question putting in the chat. So I have seen more jobs for Azure data engineer. How the opportunity for the GCP data engineer? How are the calls we have on GCP? I'm going to tell you this. I forgot to tell you guys. So this is what people do mistakes, guys. I'm not sure whether most of the people are doing the same mistakes. AWS, Azure. They usually go for AWS, and Azure is having a lot of market, and they go for the AWS data engineer or Azure data engineer. But the problem that you have to understand is that the market is already established for the AWS and Azure. The market is already established for the AWS and Azure. So when the market is already established, there are already skilled professionals are available in both of these areas. Skilled. The persons who are already having the skilled experience, they are already available here. So if there are 100 jobs, 1,000 people will come for the interview. If you have 100 jobs, 900 people will come for the interview. And these people are very skilled. These people are very skilled. Competing with them and getting the job in the AWS and Azure data engineer is not easy, because we are competing with the skilled persons. Because AWS and Azure market is already established, which is there from last 5 years, 5-7 years. Okay, skilled persons are already available, and you will be getting good calls here. Calls are here, calls are here, but you will go for the interview, but you will not be able to crack it, because competing with the skilled persons is very hard. You go for 100 you go for 50 interviews also, getting one offer letter is very difficult. I'm telling you guys, this is not just I'm telling you. If you are learning some course and competing with the persons who are already skilled, have been already working in that particular area, getting offer letter from that companies are very hard. So and the other hand you have GCP, which is recently introduced, which is emerging like anything. There are plenty of opportunities. Very less skilled persons are there. Very less skilled persons are there. If you have 100 jobs, you only find 200 people are having, and they are not skilled also. So calls are very good compared to the AWS and Azure. Also, GCP calls are very high. The calls are very good. You will get at least one interview scheduled in one day. At least one interview for one day. Okay, so you can even go for 5 interviews, 6 interviews in a week. Okay, so that is how. So choosing the GCP as a GCP data engineer role is because you are trying to learn some course, wanted to crack the interview. Okay, if you are already having the experience as a GCP, AWS data engineer, Azure data engineer, competing with the skilled persons is easy because you already having a good experience on practical experience on a company. But learning some course, cracking the interview, competing with the skilled persons is very hard. So that is the reason I have, because I used to teach Azure. First thing, I am coming from the Azure data engineering background only. I used to teach first Azure data engineer. Then I got to know I was working on a GCP also. I have worked on AWS, I have worked on Azure, I have worked on a GCP also. Guys, I'm telling you why I chosen GCP is that GCP is having a plenty of opportunities. The manpower is very less. Plenty of opportunities are there, but the manpower is very less. So there's a very huge demand for the GCP data engineers. Okay, so that is the reason I have chosen the GCP data engineer, and which is very useful for you to crack the interview easily. You don't need to spend much effort also here. Okay, so that is how. Yes, even though you have any years of experience, in our last sessions also 18 years of experience guys also there in our last session, previous batches. They are working on the course. They have learned a lot of things. Cracking the interviews is not that difficult, guys. I'm telling you, if you are learning the course, practicing everything, cracking the interviews is very easy. Okay, yeah. Anyone have any other question, guys? Does anyone have any question? Sir, I'm learning full stack web development. Will this course be useful for the field also, or is useful for data engineering field? No, this web development is more of a application development, guys. Okay, but I could not tell you. It's your wish. If you want to come to the data side, this course is for you. Okay, so Ajay, if you wanted to come to the data side, this course is a very important for you. If you don't wanted to come to the data side, you wanted to go for a application development side, you can actually go that way. Okay, yeah. Yes, please. Okay. No, no, you don't put it 10 years. You don't put 8 years as a GCP data engineer. Okay. As I tell you, if you already have 10 years of experience, you only put 3 years, 3.5 years maximum. Okay. Before that, GCP itself is not there. Yeah. Yeah. No, the services doesn't charge anything. Okay. You can use any amount of data. If you have a very large amount of data, also, if you wanted to process, if you, so the free trial account gives you $300, guys. I'm telling you. So $300 is very huge. Okay, very huge, I would say. That means 3 persons can work on one single account for $300, even though you work with a very huge amount of data. Okay, so it's a lot of money that I would say, and they're giving it for free for next 90 days. You can do anything with it, but I'm going to tell you some precautions. How do you have to take care of these $300? Because if you have created a cluster, sir, I have created a cluster, I leave it for 10 days, that's it. Your entire $300 is done. Okay, so you have to take care of few precautions so that these $300, as soon as you practice is completed, if you're destroying that service, there's no problem at all. Even you by the end of 90 days also, you'll be having $100 left. Okay, so that is all. Yeah, correct. Yes, all the three cloud platforms, the Spark is very important. So because it's not about the platform, it's about the data role, guys. So the question is that are we going to learn the Spark or not? Because for a data engineer, wherever you go, okay, wherever you go, Spark, PySpark, mean PySpark is very important. So we must learn the PySpark. Whether you are a GCP data engineer, AWS data engineer, Azure data engineer, whoever you are, you need to learn the PySpark. Okay, that's important. Okay, yeah. That means today I have learned PySpark. Can I tomorrow can I go and work in the Azure? Of course. Clouds are same. Okay, the infrastructure is different. The clouds are same. The only difference is that the interface is different. The way that you work is different, but the concepts are same. Okay, you can work today. You will learn the GCP, sir. Can I go and work in the Azure? Yes, you can go and work in the Azure. Can I go work in the AWS? Of course, you can go and work in the AWS. Okay, tools are not stopping for you. The concepts are same. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Correct. Strategies, see, if you are asking some question in the end of the class, I am going to for sure help you. Okay, I'm going to give you idea. Okay, I'm going to give you idea how you have to tackle that for sure. That's not so. Some most of the people will attend the classes. There are people, so in every batch there are people who are working in the GCP data engineer only. They attend this courses because they wanted to still learn a few more topics, still learn advanced topics from this course. So that's the reason they attend this class, and they're going to ask me questions during the sessions. Sir, my project is this watch, so I'm looking for some solution, but I couldn't able to come with the proper decisions, and can you suggest me something? For sure that kind of things will happen. I'll help you, don't worry about that. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay. Of course, you have a AutoML, you have a Vertex AI, so plenty of three to four major important data sciences are, I mean, machine learning tools are there, which is very very important in Google Cloud Platform, which is very highly rated also compared to the AWS also, which is highly rated. AutoML is very famous. Okay, yeah, you can go for that. Okay, yeah. Anyone have any other question, guys? So yeah, the question is that Python, PySpark, will you teach us? Yes. PySpark is covered here, sir. PySpark development is entire development we are going to cover with the help of the data frames. Okay. Yeah. No, we are not taking any weekend classes, guys. Sorry, we are not taking any weekend classes. This is only Monday to Friday. We are not planning any, but if you plan any, you'll come to know. Monday to Friday, every day at 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning, the same time. The same time. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Evening batch is already going on. It is already in the middle of the sessions. Yes, evening batch is there, but it is in the middle of the sessions. Okay. Yeah. Of course, new batch will be getting started after. I think it takes at least 20 days for the new batch to start for the evening batch. Okay. Yeah. The thing is that you can do one. The thing is that if you are paying for and enrolling for this course, okay, you can attend evening batch also once the evening batch. So if you don't, sir, I don't wanted to waste time. Sir, I wanted to join this morning batch, and after that, I wanted to joining evening batch also. For sure, you can join. Okay, that's not at all a problem at all. Okay, you can attend the classes in the evening for free. Yeah. Okay. Of course. Recordings. Yes. Correct. Yes, recordings is provided, but the thing I suggest you to go for live sessions. Okay, live sessions are more interactive sessions. Okay, sir, all our live sessions are more interactive. So each and every concept, whenever, even if you go for recording, you will come to know that sir is talking about one concept, and once he covered the one concept, he will asking you, do you have any questions? You will come to know, do you have any questions, at least 5 to 6 times in a class. So that means if you have a question at that point of time, you can ask me. Okay, I am going to give you that chance, so you can ask me, so that I'll be able to clear it out at that point of time. You can go and watch the recording videos, that's for sure, but live sessions I usually suggest you to go for that. That is the reason, if you wanted to do one thing, so you can go for morning, and later point of time you can ask your admin to, sir, add me in the evening batch also, I can just more learn it. Okay, so that is also fine. Yeah, but for sure you can also watch me. Not now. After 20 days, I'm telling you. After 20 days. Yeah. Okay. Whenever there is a new evening batch, you can attend the sessions also. It's your wish. Sir, I will cover the recording sessions now. After that, I will join the evening batch. It's your wish. Okay. Both are same. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, sir. Any other questions, anyone? If anyone have any questions, please ask me, guys. Any question related to the topics, any question related to the course content? I think for course content wise and other benefits wise, you should not be having any questions, because this course content I've been teaching it from the last 15, not 15, 16 months. Okay, last 16 months, 1.5 year, I could say 1.5 year onwards, 1 year, I think 17 to 18 months I've been teaching it from the same course. And we have trained a lot of people in the GCP data engineer. At first, we have only focused on the certification. Now, later point of time, opportunities are very good. So that's the reason. So this is a very, very beautiful course for you to try to attend the tomorrow's demo also. Tomorrow we are going to cover a very basic important session. Tomorrow onwards the regular sessions are going to start. The basic important question, why we need the cloud platform, you guys must know. Whether you are attending this course or not, that is totally fine for me, because it's your wish, right? So if you wanted to join the course or not, but attend tomorrow's classes. Tomorrow and after tomorrow is a free demo sessions. Attend the free demo sessions, take a proper decision. Okay, so that is it. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me, otherwise we can wind up this session. And tomorrow we have the same session at the same time, 7:30 to 8:30. Tomorrow is also free, you can attend. Okay, you can attend tomorrow's session also, same time, guys. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys, thank you all, have a great day. Bye bye. Thank you all.